Hello Bookish friends, welcome to another tag video. In this video, I'm going to do reader's problems tag. As far as I know, I was not tagged by anybody, but I really like the questions in this tag, so I wanted to do it. I will link the original tag down below. The first question is, you have 20,000 books on your TBR. How in the world do you decide what to read next? Although I do not have 20,000 books, I have more than 350 books on my Goodreads TBR list. So it's really a hard choice. That is actually the main reason why I create my reading goals as TBR goals, so that I would have a structured method of choosing books for my TBR. As of 2023, I choose my books according to book clubs, buddy reads. The next book in the Alfred Hitchcock project, the book that I chose from the physical books TBR glass, the series that I picked from the series cup, the 2 yearly reading challenges, series about series, and Golden Girls yearly reading challenge. Last but of course not least, I also choose some of the books on my TBR according to the monthly readathon that I'm participating in that month. Planning my TBR really helps me to be more intentional in choosing the books to read. Question 2. You are halfway through a book and you're not just loving it. Do you quit or are you committed? If I'm halfway through a book and I'm not loving it, I definitely do DNF that book. Most of the time I do not even wait half of the book. My limit is about a quarter of the book. Question 3. The end of the year is coming and you're so close, but you're so far away on your Goodreads reading challenge. Do you try to catch up and how? Because I make my Goodreads reading challenge at a manageable number for me, and I usually pass my reading goal in the month of August or September. But in that hypothetical situation, because I'm very far behind, I would not try to read shorter works to meet the challenge. But I will admit, if I'm only 3 or 4 books behind, I would certainly read shorter books or graphic novels to meet that challenge. Question 4. The covers of a series you love do not match. How do you cope? The number of physical books is fewer than the number of digital books that I own. I think I would be much more annoyed if the sizes of the books in the series do not fit. Because when I put them on my shelf, I do not see the covers, so it's not a very big problem for me. Question 5. Everyone and their mother loves a book you really don't like. Who do you bond with over shared feelings? The answer is very simple. I bond with you. I try to be respectful to the readers who like that book, and of course respectful to the author when I'm criticizing a book that I do not like. But of course I'm honest in stating not liking very popular books. I also have many bookish friends whom I can talk about. It's usually 2 of my best friends, but I also do openly admit not liking a book in the book club that everyone loves. Question 6. You're reading a book and you're about to start crying in public. How do you deal? I most of the time do cry in those situations and wipe my tears. But unless I'm in a point where I cannot stop reading, I most of the time stop reading to get over the crying. I've cried many times in the metro because, as I've mentioned numerous times, I mostly do my reading in commute. It's not very unusual that I would cry in public. Question 7. A sequel of a book you loved just came out, but you've forgotten a lot from the prior novel. Will you reread the book, skip the sequel, try to find a synopsis on Goodreads, or cry in frustration? Why would I cry in frustration? There are many wonderful sites who recaps the books in the series. I would read a detailed recap of the book in the series to remember what happened. Question 8. You do not want anyone borrowing your books. How do you politely tell people nope when they ask? I'm fine with lending or gifting the books on my library. But there is one person who's a work friend. I think he lost the books that I lent to him, and he's afraid to state it. But I've asked him twice, and he said that he would bring them, but he didn't bring them. But if he ever has the courage to ask to borrow a book from me, I will say bring the books that you borrowed before. I would give this book to you then. Question 9. Reading ADD. You picked up and put down 5 books in the last month. How do you get over your reading slump? If I'm in a reading slump, I have a very definite solution which worked for me so far. I read 2 very distinctive genres which makes me want to get into reading again. Those 2 genres are thriller and historical romance. They are the books that I can read the fastest. I can very easily get into those genres. So I think they are my go-to genres when I'm feeling a reading slump is coming. Question 10. There are so many new books coming out that you're dying to read. How many do you actually buy? I'm actually very fortunate enough to have a very effective application on my iPad and my phone. I pay a very reasonable monthly fee. I can download many Turkish books as well as very recent books in English. There's no limit for me to download those books. And that really decreases the need to buy the books that I'm interested in. But among the ones that I could not find in those applications, I mostly do buy about only a quarter of the books that I'm interested in. Question 11. After you bought the new books you can't wait to get to, how long do they sit on your shelf before you get to them? Well, this is certainly a problem for me. I'm thinking of the books that I've downloaded on my Storytel application, and there are some books that I've downloaded about 3 years ago, and they are still waiting for me to read it. And there are some physical books that I've got when I was in the UK, which was more than 15 years ago. So even though I read a lot of books, there are still books that I bought and downloaded that is waiting for me to read. So it's certainly a problem, but because the physical books do constitute the lesser portion of this problem, it doesn't bother me so much because those books are kept somewhere on my online library. This tag has been going on for a very long time, so I'm not sure if they have done this tag. I'm going to tag Melissa from Fully Booked, Charlie Brooke, Gina from Gina's Stanier Books, and Rachel from Rachel's Reading Nook. So those were the answers to Reader's Problems tag. Please comment down below what is your method of getting over a reading slump. It's always good to learn about new strategies. And if you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose problem. Problem means sorun in Turkish, and sorun is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.